remember when we had kid rappers who rapped about being kids? Used to be
Shit.
rapping about stuff like missing the bus,
The playground.
hanging out at the playground, trying to beat Shaq in basketball. Like, what happened to that?
That don't exist.
And
no
I'm not
more.
talking about like Van, because Van's like a little kid.
Right.
I mean, there was a time when like you were 12 and your favorite rapper was 12.
Yes.
And they rapped about shit you needed to deal with, like a bully at
Or
school.
homework.
Yeah. Like I don't like, it's a snow day. Here's 16
Yes.
bars about snow days. You know, things that were stressful to you, like handing a letter to your crush and hoping that she didn't throw it in the trash. You know, that was a thing.
That was.
But now I feel like something happened in our lifetimes where our kids stop being entertained by kids. There's, you know, like Kai Cenat is not a kid entertaining your kid. Like your kid's on Twitch or YouTube and they're watching like adults tell kids what to do and influence them. You know, you got rappers who might be young, but they rap about grown up stuff like fucking and drugs and gang shit.
Yes.
But I wonder if at some point childhood sort of went away for kids in America, at least, with our cell phones and our social media and our streaming platforms and our internet. I feel like kids just became little adults.
They got
and we're
introduced
just
to
like
a lot of shit very early and very quickly.
Yeah, and we're just like, go be an adult. Like go like you're just
With an underdeveloped brain, okay?
You're just a small adult that needs to be entertained by adult things and less so. And of course, as adults, the things we grew up with us. So things that used to be relegated to just kids are not. So a video game is an adult thing and a kid thing now. When I was a kid, the video game was like, that's what your kids play.
Yeah.
And your parents, that's the thing they put on the shelf and tell you to do your homework. And now it's not like that. And I feel like it just made me think through this small thought about rappers. Are our kids not getting to be kids?
I can see that, and also a lot of spaces. I'm not talking about small children. A lot of spaces that were dedicated to children are gone, and a lot of parents actually bring their children everywhere with them now, and then get offended when you're like, "Hey, these spaces used to kind of be for adults where we could drink and cuss and have a good time. You bring you brought your child into an adult place that everybody in here knows is adults. We talk about adult shit, and then you want the adults to kind of adjust to your child being there, and get bad when they say fuck your kid. You shouldn't brought your kid here.
I think that's you talking as a bitter adult about kids. I don't think that's necessarily the same thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about even spaces for kids not being spaces for kids. You know,
like I can see that. Yes.
Like think for example, Disney World, right? There's people that have the money that can afford to take their kids to Disney World. But you know what else is heavy at Disney World? Grown ass adults who never got a chance to go to Disney World because it costs too fucking much.
Yes.
So now I'm in Disney World sharing a kid space and not having any deference for a kid. You know, I always chuckle about it, but it is serious. When we go watch basketball games, it's kind of a mix of kids and adults. But to me, I feel like kids should get the deference in that space because that is a space for kids and the magic of sports and all the, not the jaded bullshit, like people yelling out gambling over and unders and shit. I hate that.
Me too.
But also, you know what happens in there a lot? You be cussing in front of them kids because to you, it's your space. I'm an adult and I'm here and I'm mad and I'm cussing and I don't like this and what's going on with that and I'm angry. And there's a kid sitting next to you. And that by happenstance, you being the adult, the space transfers to, it's an adult space now where I cuss and the kids just need to get used to people cussing around them. I think we don't see kids like kids. I think there's something good about us I'm not talking like, so that's why I wanted to make a distinction. I'm not talking about a kid coming into a bar. I'm saying like,
that's what I was talking about. Yes.
There used to be an understanding of like, a kid is in this space. Let's all adjust to the fact that that's a kid.
Yeah.
And I think something was lost. And like kids needed their own entertainment. Like, not just your Cartoon Networks, but just like there was a space of like, nah, there should be an act for kids. You
Yeah.
know, like we kind of lost boy bands. We licensed that out
Yeah.
to fucking Korea or whatever. Like there's just something, and it feels very American.
Yes.
But there's just something about like kids are not thought of as a priority, and the only time you really see people bring up kids and protecting kids seems to be this like control valve of like, you got gay people on TV in front of my kids, and I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not talking
That's
about that
just
either.
some bullshit. I'm talking about like, we don't have a crisscross. We don't have another bad creation. We don't have a Quo. When's the last time y'all thought about Quo? We don't have we just don't have it, and I don't think it's because I'm out of the loop. Like I don't think
No.
this is a thing where it's like, old man Rod doesn't know what the kids are into. I think the kids are into Sexy Red. I think the kids are into Kendrick Lamar. I think the kids are into Megan Thee Stallion. Like, and I'm not, once again, I'm not judging those acts. Where are the kids supposed to go?
Yes.
Like, of course your kid likes Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not judging Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not judging the kids, and I'm not judging the parents necessarily. I'm just saying it's weird that the entertainment industry just sort of let that thing go. Like, I think there's probably still TV shows you can feel comfortable for kids, but they're mostly streaming now.
Right.
But yeah, it just feels like something happened. Anyway, that was my thought.
I can, yeah, and I can see that, because like you say, there used to be places like dedicated, and it would not be surprising if the pandemic killed those spaces and they never came back. You know, like with the pandemic and everybody was kind of that isolation and everybody being separated. Nobody ever brought those things back, and everybody was like, well, they're not there, and they kind of, you know, because depending on what it is, it costs money. So parents like, shit, I can save money not doing this bullshit, so fuck it, you know,
And
type of thing.
And with kids, with parents being more protective, let's say protective.
Yes.
With parents being more protective now, I bet that's part of it too.
Yes.
Because like, you're tracking your kid, you're monitoring your kid's around you all the time.
Yes.
There's less of the like going out to play at the park. That you can't have a latchkey kid. You can't have a kid that rides a bike up the street without,
like, they got to be in your sight at all times. Yes.
So like, kids probably because of that don't get to be around other kids and need to do kid shit with kids. So now they kind of have to quasi do adult shit with parents, and parents have to do kid shit. And I think especially when you think about our entertainment, a lot of it can be shared. Like, I want to see a Marvel movie, my kid wants to see a Marvel movie. That's a perfectly good thing for us to hang out together, right? But there used to be a time when if I was a kid and I wanted to see something like that, my mom was like, go to the movies, get you a friend, I'll drive y'all to the movies, I'll drop y'all off, I'll pick you up.
Yes.
Like, this is your thing. This
Yes,
is not
in your
me
time.
thing. I'm an adult. You know what my thing is?